Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Boss Spotlight. I am Tamara Diane, your boss exec. Thank you again for watching. I have the beautiful Miss Chandra Cleveland-Jennings. I knew I was going to mess it up. She is a private investigator, a public and motivational speaker, and she's going to be able to chat with you about what is going on in her speaker's tour, what her motivation is, and all of the important concepts that she covers with her programs and all that good stuff. So thank you so much for joining us. How are you this morning?
I am great. Thank you so much for having me.
It is my pleasure. It is truly an honor to be able to talk with you, just give you the opportunity to share about the great things that you are doing. So just give us a brief preview. What is C. Cleveland Speaks? What is that program about? Why? What is the driving force behind it? Give us all the good details.
Wow, that's a mouthful. Where to start? C. Cleveland Speaks is a company that I developed from doing the things that I do. I'm a retired law enforcement officer. I've been in law enforcement for about 28 years. I have a nonprofit organization that I created right after retiring from the sheriff department. So it's been together for 9 years. We're coming up on our 10th year to celebrate Palmetto Youth Connection. And the driving force for me with Palmetto Youth Connection has always been the children and the women of the community. I make sure that children know or have access to education attainment, know what to do when you're in trouble, know resources that you can use, and why is it so important for them to have good friends. And we know that friends can really get you in some sticky situations. So if it occurs, we give them the resources to go to help clear up those situations. And as far as women, to empower them, all of us women, as women, we possess a strong sense of fear, a strong sense of knowing, and a strong sense of just being strong during the times that people are trying to break you down. So, the women part of the organization is helping to empower other women, to help them with if they would like to be entrepreneurs, whatever they would like to do, is just empowering them to keep forward or stay focused, because we know that it's hard to stay focused with so many things going on around you. And especially if you're a mother, or an entrepreneur, or you even working, it's just a lot to juggle. So we help them to juggle and manage it. Um, as far as me speaking, I felt that it was necessary because some people distribute information that they want you to hear, not what you need to hear in order to clear up some circumstances. So my voice comes from making women safe and aware of different situations such as sex trafficking among teen and women, such as drugs that can be slipped into whatever you're drinking or association with other people, and to tell them how to react in different situations, such as those, and also self defense tactics.
Awesome, awesome. So you were in law enforcement for 28 years. It's a very, very long time. What drove you to say, okay, I'm going to go in this and I'm going to make a career of it?
Oh my gosh. It started while I was in California. I'm a professional model and actress as well. And I lived in Pasadena, and I was next door to one of the guys who did narcotics for LAPD. And they have been trying to get into this girls gang and infiltrate it so that they can arrest some people. And I think it was about 6 months he and I was talking about this, that he can't get anybody in because they won't allow them. And I was like, okay, send me in. And he was like, Chandra, really, you think you're going to be able to fit in with those girls? And I'm like, okay, what you don't know about me is I grew up in the projects. um, I have some hood cousins. And I know how to act. I said, okay, just send me in. If I don't work out, then it'll be no loss. You'll be back where you are now. So he sent me in, and I tell you, in 45 minutes, those girls were my friends. We had a safe house in the community, and it was an older lady staying there, an older Black lady, and I came in as her niece from the South, and they sent me in deep undercover for 9 months that I couldn't talk to my family or anything, and we closed the case.
Wow, that's huge. That's something that comes off of TV. Like you never hear those stories in real life. Like that's something that you would see, I don't know, on Fox or something like that, or TNT. That's awesome.
So when I moved back to South Carolina, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I know modeling is not going to pay me, what I need to make in order to make things work. So that's when I got into Richland County Sheriff Department.
That is awesome. That is so huge. That is so huge. Now, I know you also have a aside from the human sex trafficking piece, you have a domestic violence piece that you really address and help empower women. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, yes. Domestic violence to me, if you ever known or been around me, some of my friends say my phone never stops ringing. Um, it seems that I have become a confidant in the community, especially when high profile women are abused. They call me and ask what should they do first, and that they're finally tired of being abused and that they're ready to speak out. So I take them through a course of making sure that they lay everything out to escape at a reasonable time and how to gather the information that they need. So many women are just not aware of the steps that you need to take and are scared to because of who the perpetrator may be. So I make sure that they have all the information. And I am getting ready to have, by the way, another event for domestic violence on the 15th of November. And it's going to be sort of a collaboration of the sex traffic and the domestic violence. With that, domestic violence have been, oh my gosh, about South Carolina being number one. We don't have enough placement here in South Carolina for women who want to escape and can't afford it. So I have been looking at this house that is 6 bedrooms. And I want this house to be many things, but definitely the most important thing is a shelter for battered women. The concept is to get them ready, education wise, work wise, and to get them the clothing that they need to start being in the workplace. And most importantly, is to get their voice out there because of the circumstances of women always having this little secret closet. And I tell them, it's okay to open the door. If you want to crack the door and see what freedom looks like, let me help you take the first step. And so that is like my dear and most passionate thing I have, because my first incident of seeing domestic violence when I was in law enforcement, it broke my heart. It really did. And then when I started, the laws here in South Carolina was that the woman had to be there in order for us to prosecute. And so when I look at her and she says, no, I just fell down the stairs, I'm okay. And I'm like, oh my God, it's a handprint across your face. And I just look at her and I'm like, it's okay to tell. And when we take him out of the room and I get an opportunity to speak with the women, it was amazing. It's like they just needed someone to tell them it's okay. You should not be treated this way. There is another way. And every woman that I talked to, they started stepping out. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is good. This is really good. This is what I need to do. So, I just went to call after call and women started stepping out. And I knew that once I retired, I had to continue to reach back and help those women come through the door of freedom.
I love it. I love it. And talk about how someone who's in your area, or maybe even abroad, how they can help you with your mission and kind of expand your reach and add increase to what it is you're doing. How can someone watching get involved?
Oh, gosh, Tamara, that has been a hard thing for me because I don't know. I have this complex about myself that it's hard for me to ask for help because I hate for people to say no. So I'm about to go broke, really, girl. Helping so many people and using my resources to do it. So I am always asking women for donations, clothing donation, monetary donation, furniture. I have a dear friend that's here in Colombia that he's a contractor, and we're just waiting to get the house that I want to have for domestic violence victims and survivors, to get things together. He will build and redo everything the way that I need it to be. And so donations of monetary, clothing, furniture, those are some of the things that we need.
Awesome, awesome. And it's one of those things. I think it's the complex that all bosses have. They're always like, no, I'll do it myself. No, I'll do it myself. But we have to be able to reach out to others because you never know what type of resources they have, and it's something that I'm kind of preaching to myself as well as I say this. But being able to reach out, so we'll definitely make sure that on our end that we do our part to try to get donations and things like that for you and for this house. And I'm super excited about it. Now, do you have a timeline when you think the doors will be open?
Oh my gosh, the problem that I'm running into right now is the person who owns the house lived in New York, and apparently that is not a correct address from where they are. So it's just like trying to see if we can take it from taxes, but it seemed like the taxes are being paid on the house. So I'm trying to find out more information of where the check is coming from to pay the taxes so I can reach to them and have it donated because the house has been sitting for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's really big, and it has a little small bedroom house in the back of the house. So it's perfect. The land is on 2 acres of land. It's back off the street. Someone would have to be able to get in or to allow you in on the property. It is just very safe and everything that I want. So I am just praying and asking everybody else to pray with me that we get this house because it is so much needed here. A lot of people really don't understand that for the state, or for the city of Columbia, I think it's only about 46 beds available, and some locations don't take children, don't take male children, I should say. So you have to separate the family, and I don't like that. I think it's already a tragic situation to have to be uprooted out of your home, and the family should be together. So that's what my house is going to be, where the families can stay together.
I love it, and I love your cause, and I love everything that you are doing. And let's, before we kind of sign off real quick, let's talk about what you're doing with the youth. I know that we have your women's piece. Yeah, a lot of pieces going on, which I love, absolutely love. What connects you with the youth? Tell about your youth programs and what you're doing with them.
Okay, Palmetto Youth Connection, you know that the youth are our future. And it's so many people. And everybody said, why are you so passionate about it? You don't even have children. Yeah, they are my children. Me being a school resource officer and being in the school system, I develop a relationship of always talking and importantly listening to my students. And to listen to them of the problems that they have, it's a reason behind their actions and the way they act. So it's very important for me to be that guiding force and that ruler. Now I put down my foot when it's time for them to go on the right track. So with Palmetto Youth Connection, it is about letting them really see themselves. And I tell people that, and they're like, what do you mean really see themselves? I said, they are doing, but they don't see how bad it looks. So I show them other incidents that are occurring around the states, such as bullying, cyberbullying, especially. We have so many people out there who are doing cyberbullying, and it's making this other person on the other end feel like there is no reason to live. So suicide prevention, This weekend, past 2 weekends ago, I had the opportunity to actually talk to a group of the LGBTQAI community, because they're bullied far more worse than other kids are. So I wanted to be a collectible force of speaking with teens from everywhere. It is not just an African American organization. It is an organization that reach out beyond the color barriers and everything. And we talk about everything from girls nowadays, teens who are in college, haven't had a pap smear, doesn't know anything about having that regular exam. So, I partner with Richland Memorial, and I can take them in to get an exam as late as 8 o'clock at night. So, these things are true and dear to the success of our young people, is teaching them how to treat others, how to feel good about yourself, and how to manage your money, girl.
That is huge. And I think the interesting thing is that a lot of people, we forget that our youth are so smart, and they need, that special attention, because they can accomplish so many things if they just have that proper support system and those certain systems in place. So I think what you're doing is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm having a hard time, I guess, a lot of people with nonprofit organizations, since the government shut down about 2.5 years ago, it's been very hard to get grant funding. So, doing November the 15th, I really want it to be also an opportunity for people to donate to the cause, because, I know there's a lot of organizations out there that say they're helping youth, but if the money stopped, they stop. The money stopped for me a long time ago, and I have not stopped. I keep it going because I feed the kids every time they come to me. I don't know who is getting a meal once they leave school or not. So it's very important for me. And my friends, I just want to thank my friends because they come through for me. If I call and say, we need a meal for this Monday, can you donate something? They always come through. The kids always have a meal to eat on Mondays, like today.
I love it. I love it. So, before we sign off, real quickly, let us know, what is your driving force? What rewards do you get from being such an amazing, woman, and supporting the youth, supporting women in trouble? What drives you, and what reward do you kind of pull from there?
Oh my gosh. The only reward that is the best reward to me is when they get it. I see on their face that they get it. I see in their actions that they get it. And I just feel it's so important for you to tap someone on the shoulder and tell them, I'm so proud of you, where you've come from, what you're doing now. I've had a lot of amazing young people in my organization with Palmetto Youth Connection. And you said earlier, these young people are very smart. It was young people who helped me to lay the foundation for a Palmetto Youth Connection. Courtney, Shalon, um, many others that did the layout of getting everything together and still there. So on our 10th year anniversary next year, oh my gosh, the appreciation and the love and the continuation of Palmetto Youth Connection will be great. It is just so rewarding to see that they get it, and a woman to come out of domestic violence stronger and with a voice that you never heard before. And you see her stand up in my organization and speak for the first time. And I do not push them to speak. The women who have been battered, they sit back, and I always tell them, whenever your voice comes to you, you stand up and you speak. And that has happened in each organization of domestic violence training that I have. A woman who I didn't know would speak, would stand up, and her voice will be heard. And of course, I'm just a mushy, and I go ahead and cry. And it's just like, oh my gosh, it's so great. So that's my reward.
I love it. I love it. And before we go, let everyone know how they can get in touch with you, how they can send, where they can send their donations to, all that good stuff.
My website is cclevelandspeaks.com. You can go to the comment section and send funds there. The funds on, I guess it is PayPal, is the same, is CC Jennings at cclevelandspeaks.com for PayPal to send donations. And to look at some of the activities that we do, you can go to palmettouthconnection.org, and you can always send donations through the website as well.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us, letting us know the wonderful things that you are doing. You guys, thank you so much for watching. Just a couple of Boss announcements. I want to remind you guys that the Boss membership is now available. You can visit www.bossnews, Boss Christian Network /join to fill out all the information in order to become a member of the Boss Christian Network. Thank you so much for watching. I want all of you to make sure that you reach out and visit cclevelandspeaks.com so that you're able to connect, to donate, and to see the amazing things that are happening and to get involved. It's so important that we give back, not just so that we can receive something in return, but just to help somebody else, because we have to care. We have to make sure that we are doing our part. God has given us so much, and it's just a shame that we were to hoard it all. But before we sign out, can you let us know, give us some lasting tips or anything else you want to say before we sign off here?
Well, if you see a young girl and you say that she's dressed inappropriately, or you say that she's doing the wrong thing, just walk up to her and to talk to her. Do not talk to her and like you're wanting to criticize what she's wearing or doing. Just talk to her and introduce yourself to her. You may make a world of difference, of change in this young person. Do not talk about them. Just be a part of what they're doing and reach out to them. And most important, listen to them. They have a lot to say. And in response to women, regardless of who you knew from the past and their actions that you didn't like, reach out to them, support other women in what they're doing, and tell them, you appreciate what they're doing, and that if there's anything that you can help them with, that they can reach out to you. Because some people are like me. I hate to ask people for help and they reject it. So always be willing to help someone who asks for help.
Absolutely, absolutely. Do your part. Be a part of the change you want to see in the world. Just like Gandhi said, we have to make sure that we are doing our part, reaching out, connecting, supporting. It's extremely important. This has been another episode of Your Boss Spotlight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tamara Diane, your boss exec, reminding you to live unapologetically the life that God has created for you to live. And at all times, remember, be true to yourself and love yourself. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at boss_exec. And I look forward to connecting with you next week on another episode of the Boss Spotlight. Thanks for watching.